Sharing my mastery story was intense. Actually, now that it's over, I feel kind of like I threw up. I'm all relieved now. A lot of it was information from my childhood that I have never shared with anyone else, ever. And so it was sort of cathartic. If it weren't for this community that I'm in, it probably never would have come out, and it would have festered, and I never would have felt as free as I feel right now. The feeling in the room, the emotion that I got from people, there were actually certain people that I couldn't look at because I saw tears in their eyes, and I felt their love and their support. And I knew that if I kept looking at them, I was going to lose it. So I looked at, different people who had their shit together a little better. And so I was able to keep it together. I initially wasn't wanting to do the presentation that I had written because I felt after yesterday, after hearing everyone else's stories, I felt like mine was too different and selfish, and it was all about me. And then I woke up this morning and just thought, no, that's what I wrote. I don't have time to prepare anything else, and it's who I am. And I like being different. So I did it, and I'm grateful that I did. And I obviously evoked a lot of emotion in the room, and people were happy that I did. So I've been investing monthly in this program for maybe 4 months. I can't even really remember, because basically it's the cheapest counseling around. It's I can go back. I've always been interested in personal growth on my own, reading, since my teens, brainy stuff, but I never thought about doing it with a group or with anybody. I thought it was kind of hokey and didn't like growth groupies, but I got to a point where I wasn't making any progress anymore, and there were still things in me that I knew I needed to break out of. I did a couple of other growth you programs, and then was offered this one, and there was just so much value there. There were so many options for me for calls to get on, and lectures and online stuff that I could do, that I thought it was a great investment. I didn't know what to expect. I had never shared with people the way that I'm doing now. But there's so much love and so much trust, and I feel completely comfortable and safe. And so I just keep rolling with it. And every call, every week, every month, I'm learning more and more. It's amazing. A couple of times in my past, I've had people tell me that I had changed their lives, always in regards to physical things. I'm an athlete, and I've inspired other athletes to do things that they didn't think they could do because I'm just an ordinary athlete, and they thought, well, she can do it, I can do it. And those people have since far surpassed me, which is great. I'm like a proud mama. In regards to emotional things or personal development, I never thought that I could have an effect or did have an effect. And part of my presentation today talked about how there was no aha moment in my life. I've changed drastically from my childhood, but I never noticed any epiphany or anything. And I think today, giving my presentation and seeing how it affected certain people and the response I got just in those first few minutes afterwards, people lining up to hug me, I realized I can have an impact. I do have an impact, and that makes me cry. It makes me feel good. So when I heard about this retreat, I think I pretty much instantly decided I wanted to do it. And I have to be perfectly honest, part of it was I'd never been to Austin. I always like to go places where I've never been. And I'm a musician, I love music. But I came all the way from Hawaii to do this. And actually, I was just telling someone yesterday on the plane, I was thinking, what the heck am I doing going to Austin for a personal growth retreat? I I don't travel for things like this. I travel to do races and to climb mountains and trek the Himalayas. I don't travel to tell a story about myself, and boy, am I glad I did it. And it was just an instinctive move to sign up for it. I didn't really think that much about it. I didn't think about the expense because I knew that something would work out and that I would be able to afford it. And so I signed up and I did it, and here I am in this beautiful place. So I would like to share that it's never too late to do something like this. It's never too late to grow, to change, to advance. I'm nearing 60 and I know a lot of people shut down at middle age. I knew as a kid, I used to always say, I'm going to live to 100. And now I know that I'm going to live to at least 100. And so I'm just about halfway there. So don't just get complacent. Get out there, grow, develop, learn as much as you can, because it's never too late. There's a fine line between a free spirit and a lost soul. I grew up ingesting the ingredients for a lost soul, fear punctuating my existence, making sure I acknowledged its persistence. I was 5 when my oldest brother said, let's play doctor. It was attention from my idol, so yes, I said, it was attention. Repeated attention, mistaken for affection, taken in the wrong direction. The attention was diverted, but the shame never averted. Into myself I reverted. Then fear, when I walked down the street past the thugs, overhearing, she lets her brother get on top of her. The sneers, the fear I had, the self-blame, the betrayal that I felt that came, the sloped shoulders all of a sudden, the hair hiding the face, shrinking into hopeful invisibility, shrinking away from that place. I was 5. At age 8, the divorce happened. I used to be daddy's girl, daddy's world. All of a sudden, now he's removed his self, only intermittent attention, occasional affection, taken in another direction. Sadness averted when into myself I reverted, burying my pain. This is tough. I waded through thugs on my front steps, liquor bottles and brown bags reeking of pot smoke, their eyes heavy-lidded, lascivious as they leer at me as I walk up the stairs in my Catholic school skirt, feeling not much better than dirt. Police sirens, gunshots, helicopter lights, burglaries, crashing cars, fistfights. My first crush was a pimp. Thank God I was too young for him to groom. Thank God I had at least the safety of my room. Cops at the door on Christmas morning, looking for my brother, my mother, positioning her body so they don't see the stolen bookcase he gave her for Christmas, positioning her body for cover. When I was 9, I wake up to my mama's favorite petunias dug up from the garden, laid out on the front porch with rocks and an arc above, and spelling out ho below. Her beau is still married, you see. Stand up straight, she says. Put your hair back, she tells me, but I can't think how, I just don't see. Age 10, a new friend came home with me after school. She insulted a passing neighbor as we walked, used a word that shocked. But she went home to her safe neighborhood on the right side of the tracks while I suffered at the hands of a very crazy teenager. I'm the one attacked. Age 10. She rapes me, and yes, I said she. And I had let her in the house, trying to make friends, make amends for my racist friend. Next thing I know, there's a pillow over my face, scissors to my belly, and a hand up that place. Adrenaline rushed, fear that I'd brushed up against an evil that was going to kill me. The wrong kind of attention, causing me to question fucking everything. Fear never averted, deeper into myself reverted. At age 12, I learned to roll my first joint. Taught by my brother, who's no longer my idol, but given grudging admiration because he teaches me about jazz. Sneaking beer into the classroom at grade school. Sometimes things are cool. Age 15, we finally escaped the neighborhood. Now everything's going to be all good. No more thugs looking at my ass, and my mama's beau is free at last. But now there's a different kind of whispering, something more to get past. What's that black man doing with that white woman? Why is that girl calling him dad? She can't be his daughter. Somehow I find myself missing the old neighborhood. Age 17, dad dies. Mother and daughter racked with grief. Nothing gives mom relief. But now I stand up straight. I no longer slouch, no longer hide behind my hair. In fact, I put it in a braid and I chop it off. And then I run. And then I run some more. And then I learn to fly. I don't know how. I don't know why. There was no wake-up call, no aha moment, no epiphany. Just a gradual emergence, a slow rolling boil, a little bit free. And then this happens. I travel the world. I climb 5 mountains. I ride a camel around the pyramids in Giza. I ride an elephant through the jungles of Bali. I ride a water buffalo in Burma. I travel to the Taj Mahal twice. I trek in Bhutan twice. I trek the Himalayas 3 times. I become a dive master, move to Australia. I dive 200 feet down a wall in the middle of the Coral Sea. I conduct shark feeds without a cage. I dive in the Caribbean through a tunnel 170 feet deep, following a shark that's 20 feet long. I become a singer. I open for Willie Nelson. I smoke pot with Willie Nelson. I fly over Cappadocia in a balloon. I fly upside down over the San Francisco Bay in an open cockpit biplane. I jump out of an airplane. I finish a half Ironman. I run a 50K trail run. I've won medals for volleyball, fencing, bodybuilding, running, triathlon, and photography. So my childhood formed who I am, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. There was no wake-up call, no epiphany that I sensed. Just a gradual emergence, a slow rolling boil, something in me that wasn't stole. Walking that fine line between free spirit and lost soul.